Hey there friends, how's it going? David Potts with Song Notes here, and a quick Friday one for you. I just want to show you a new cheat sheet that I just finished putting together. This is showing you Travis picking patterns for the most common chords, right? In open position. So if you've ever wanted a single page that shows you, hey, what are the go-to Travis picking patterns to play any of the cowboy chords, the major chords, right? C, G, A, D, E, B7, a couple of versions of F that you're going to need. Also some of the minor chords, right? A minor, E minor, B minor. I have them all on one page written out for you here. It's a nice little just handy resource if you ever want something to follow in case you're in a pinch. You want to play a certain song fingerstyle, you don't have a fingerstyle tab, you're really into Travis picking, this cheat sheet is going to be your friend. There is a second page I added as well, which adds some additional notes and nuance as far as how these patterns I put together are derived, like where they're coming from. And on the third page, I have a list of all the lessons I've made that are taught using Travis style fingerpicking, right? That includes a handful of song lessons, right? I have song sheets for those, but then I have a bunch of unique instrumentals, right? That sometimes are in the style of a certain artist, but you always have my sort of tabs written out as part of membership over at songnotes.net. So those are all on page 3. There are clickable links if you download the PDF or you just scan the code at the top, and you can view those all on my website, songnotes.net. So even if you're not a member, you can browse all my free lessons there. I have a nice Travis picking page that's built out, and it has them all there grouped into sections. So this is a good, really getting started guide for Travis picking. I would like to flesh things out more, make a nice step-by-step course. I'll get there one day. But for now, Rick, you wrote in asking about this. You wrote in asking, hey, if you have any, cheat sheets showing you all these diagrams in one place. And I do now. So Rick, thank you for your correspondence over email the last few days. Your feedback has been really helpful. So let me just explain really quick how this works and how to use this document, right? This PDF here. If you're not familiar with Travis style, I have another lesson. I think it's 302, right? Here's the PDF. It might be kind of blurry here. It explains the difference of sort of what I call normal finger style versus Travis picking. The main idea with Travis picking is your thumb is going to be bouncing between bass notes. And while that's happening, your index finger and maybe your middle finger are going to be on the thinnest couple strings, adding filler notes, right? Or they can add some melody. When I say melody, I mean think of a line that you would hum, right? I always go to like Long Black Veil, right? Right? See how those notes on the thinner strings are sort of telling a story, a melodic story? Sometimes you're going to have songs doing that, like any John Prine song, usually in the intro and maybe in between the verses or after each chorus, you're going to get some of that melody being played on the thinner strings. But while folks are singing songs, typically the Travis picking is going to have the bass note, just like always, but the thinner strings are just going to play filler notes, right? Something that doesn't get in the way of the words. It's not necessarily melodic, but it fills things out. Okay, so if you look at my sheet here, the way that I've written it out is all of the bass notes for each chord are written with a highlight and a circle. That way it's very clear, this is what your right thumb is playing, okay? And then the blue notes represent the filler notes, the notes that you're sort of adding in the gaps to flesh things out. And here's the one thing that's really important to understand about Travis style, is no matter what chord you're in, what key you're playing, is there's many different approaches you could use to those filler notes, many different patterns you could use, right? For example, and on page 2 I write this out. If we take a C major chord, right, and I'm bouncing between strings 5 and 4 with my picking hand, okay? The way I have it written out with my filler notes is you're going to pluck the 3rd string and the 2nd string, just after the 2 count, and then just after the 3 count, right? 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Now this is just one way to do the filler notes. I would call that like a down-up version because you're starting low and then you go high. So it's like going from down to up. But you could do it the other way around. You could start high. Another chord. How in every chord I'm following the same pattern. That's something you typically will do. Sometimes you'll mix it up, but I just want to make it clear that you can go down up, you can go up down, you can involve pinches. A pinch is usually on the 1 count when you'll play the bass note, but you'll pinch either 2nd, 3rd, or 1st, 2nd, or 3rd string at the same time, right? So that's a pinch, and then you even could combine these, and you can create longer patterns, right? For example, okay, a little bit of improvisation there. But that is the great part about Travis picking, is that as you get more comfortable, you're going to find that your sort of index finger that's doing the melody stuff is getting a bit more confident and can start to stray off the path a little bit and start to add little impromptu melodies, right? So it's something that I've tackled here and there. I recommend checking out all the lessons I've made that are linked on the lesson page for this song and a link through the PDF or over just the Travis Picking portal on my website, right? Learning any one of those is going to help you out, right? But getting this lesson 522 is what you're watching right now. You get this PDF, you're just going to have access to all these patterns. It's going to just help you have something to reference, okay? There's no one song or lesson that's going to teach you everything. I recommend learning, one thing at a time, right? Biting off a little bit, chewing on it, kind of integrating it into your skill set, and then move on to something else. And over time, you're just going to build this toolkit of experience. You're going to play in different keys, and you're just going to really get the confidence you want to be able to play a fingerstyle in a satisfying way. A few different notes. I want to say on page 3, where I list all the song lessons and all the lessons I've made that are in Travis style fingerpicking, I note the chords that each lesson uses. This is really, really, really important, because if you look at it, you're going to see a theme, okay? Now, maybe I just happen to pick songs and artists that favor certain keys, but my hunch is that this would hold up across the board, and it's this truth. Most songs that are played fingerstyle are going to be, most of them, not all, are going to be in the key of C, right? And therefore, they're going to use C, F, G, and A minor as the main chords, or they're going to be in the key of G and use G, C, D, and E minor as the main chords. Now, I think the reason for doing that is that those two keys set you up really well for Travis picking, okay? It's really, really rare that you're going to be outside of those keys. I do have one where I'm teaching, for example, it's like an E, A7, and B7 version, right? You're going to run into that from time to time, but it's a lot less common. I will also say that the D major chord is a real outlier when it comes to Travis picking, because it's only 4 strings. And the problem with that is it means that our bass notes are going to be between strings 4 and 3. And if we're going between D, G, and A, which are the major chords in the key of D, you're going to find that your bass notes are just jumping all over the place, right? They're having to go from 4th string to 5th string to 6th string. So I think the key of D seems really, really rare for Travis picking. I don't think I've taught any songs that use that key. And I will say that on my page 1 here of this new PDF I put together, you're going to see, I wrote up the D major chord, okay? Showing these patterns, that pattern. But I also have written up what's called D7, over F sharp. Now that might sound really scary, but when you're playing that in the key of G, okay, this is your G, whoops, this is your G, this is your C, this is your D7 over F sharp, back to your C. It's actually really, really approachable as a chord, because when you're coming from C, your index finger is already on that note, that C note, and you just put your middle and ring fingers down to make the other part of it's basically, think of it as like D7, but you're not going to play the thinnest string, and then you're going to move a finger to the 2nd fret of the 6th string. So these are the 5 strings you're fretting, but really you're only fretting 3 of them, and then you're just plucking 6 and 4 for your bass notes. Right, and then it transitions nicely to the G, okay? So I included that on page 1. I just want to call that out as the D chord being that one chord that kind of stands out as a weird one. But hey, this is all available to y'all. More lessons to come on this topic for sure, but I have a bunch already. Check out what I have on my website, and I have a battery warning on my phone. And I'm going to take off now. I just wanted to get this quick update out, let you know about this again, but all these PDFs that are my instructional cheat sheets are available to you all who are Song Notes members. So I really appreciate the ongoing support. If you're not a member, please check out the link in the description and consider joining over at songnotes.net. You get a bunch of cool stuff, access to my courses, extended video lessons, jam tracks. You save 50% on all my licensed song sheets, but then you also get access to all my instructional PDFs, right? Teaching you original instrumentals and music theory and all that kind of stuff. And you also get access to the community forum, which is a great way to interact with other members of the Song Notes community. So I'm going to take off now, y'all. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, and until then, bye-bye.